Look up tonight. This meteor shower is about to turn the night sky into fire. Imagine, it's a cold December night. You step outside, away from the glow of your phone and streetlights, and you look up. Suddenly, the sky explodes. Not with fireworks, but with dozens of fiery streaks tearing across the darkness. You're watching ancient rocks, older than dinosaurs, vaporize in our atmosphere, becoming the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, and if you miss it, you'll have to wait a whole year to see it again. Tonight, we're talking about one of nature's greatest light shows, the Geminid meteor shower. By the end of this video, you'll want to grab a blanket and witness this cosmic spectacle for yourself. So buckle up, because we're diving into the science, history, and magic of why this shower is unlike any other. Let's get into it. Have ever looked up at the night sky and seen a shooting star? Bet you made a wish, right? Well, what if I told you that wasn't a star at all? Let's talk about what's really going on up there, especially with one of the most spectacular light shows of the year, the Geminid meteor shower. So, what is a meteor? Most people call them shooting stars, but they're not stars, not even close. A meteor is what we see when a tiny piece of space debris, often no bigger than a grain of sand, slams into Earth's atmosphere. It hits at insane speeds, like tens of thousands of miles per hour. This creates so much friction that the debris heats up and burns, creating that beautiful streak of light across the sky. It's basically a tiny rock on fire. Now, where do these tiny rocks come from? Most of the time they come from comets. Comets are like giant, dirty snowballs orbiting the sun. As they travel, they leave behind a trail of dust and ice. When Earth passes through one of these cosmic dust bunnies, we get a meteor shower. It's like driving your car through a snowstorm, but instead of snowflakes hitting your windshield, it's space dust lighting up our entire atmosphere. Cool, right? We have lots of meteor showers every year, the Perseids in August, the Leonids in November, but the Geminids, they are on a whole other level. And that's what makes them so special. So, why all the hype for the Geminids? First off, the sheer number of meteors. At its peak, you can see up to 120 meteors per hour under perfect conditions. That's 2 meteors every single minute. Most other showers give you maybe 30 or 40 an hour if you're lucky. The Geminids are just way more active, making them a must-see for any stargazer. But here's the real kicker, the part that makes the Geminids truly unique. Remember how I said most meteor showers come from comets? Well, the Geminids break that rule. They don't come from a comet, they come from an asteroid, a really weird asteroid called 3200 Phaethon. Phaethon is a cosmic oddball. It's only about 3 miles wide, but it has a wild orbit that takes it closer to the Sun than any other named asteroid. At its closest approach, the surface temperature on Phaethon skyrockets to over 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to melt lead. Scientists believe this intense heat causes the asteroid's rocky surface to crack and shed debris, kind of like paint peeling off a car left in the desert sun. And that debris, that's what creates the Geminid meteor shower. So when you're watching the Geminids, you're not seeing dust from an icy comet. You're re-watching tiny pieces of a scorched asteroid that has been baking near the sun for millions of years. How mind-blowing is that? You're literally watching pieces of a rock-comet hybrid burn up in our sky. Believe it or not, the Geminids haven't always been the superstar shower they are today. Compared to ancient showers like the Perseids, they're practically brand new. The first recorded observation was in 1862, from a riverboat on the Mississippi River. Back then, observers only reported about 10 to 20 meteors per hour. It was a pretty minor event, just a footnote in astronomy books for decades. But then, something strange started happening in the 20th century. Year after year, the shower got more and more intense. By the 1970s, it had become one of the most reliable and spectacular meteor showers on the calendar. Scientists were baffled. Why was this once minor shower suddenly putting on such a great show? The answer didn't come until 1983. When NASA's infrared astronomical satellite discovered the asteroid 3200 Phaethon and linked it to the Suddenly, it all made sense. We had found the source. But discovering Phaethon opened up a whole new set of mysteries. Phaethon doesn't act like a normal asteroid. Even though it's made of rock, it sometimes develops a faint tail, just like a comet. This has led some researchers to call it a rock comet, or a dead comet, the rocky skeleton of a comet that lost all its ice long ago. Others think it could be a whole new type of celestial object we don't fully understand yet. So, the Geminids aren't just a beautiful sight, they're a scientific puzzle. Each streak of light is a clue to the strange and violent history of their parent Phaethon. They are the legacy of a cosmic enigma. So next time the Geminids are active, grab a blanket, find a dark spot away from city lights, and look up. You're not just watching shooting stars. You're witnessing the fiery remnants of a bizarre asteroid, a story written in light across the night sky. It's a reminder of just how wonderfully weird our universe can be. Alright, so what can you actually expect if you step outside tonight to watch the Geminid meteor shower? First off, these meteors will look like they're coming from the constellation Gemini, which is how they got their name. But here's a little pro tip for you. Don't just stare directly at Gemini. The most spectacular meteors often appear a bit away from that point, streaking across other parts of the sky. So, keep your eyes peeled across the whole celestial canvas. Now, let's talk about the meteors themselves. They are bright. Like really bright. Geminids are famous for their vibrant colors too. You might see some white ones, some yellow ones, and if you get really lucky, you might even spot a greenish or bluish one. That amazing color comes from the different minerals in the space debris like magnesium, sodium, and calcium all vaporizing as they hit our atmosphere. Unlike some meteor showers that have a very short peak, the Geminids are active for days. They actually started around December 4th and will keep going until about the 17th. But the absolute best time to watch the night with the most meteors is happening right now, tonight. The peak is on December 13th and 14th, and here's the best part. The moon is just a tiny sliver right now, which means we have incredibly dark skies. Darker skies mean you'll see way more meteors. This is honestly one of the best viewing opportunities all year. All you have to do is find a dark spot away from city lights, get comfortable, maybe lie back on a blanket, and let your eyes adjust for about 20 minutes. You don't need a telescope or binoculars. It's just you, the sky, and the universe putting on an incredible light show. So you might be thinking, okay, cool, space rocks, pretty lights, but why does this actually matter? And that's a great question. On the surface, sure, meteor showers are just a beautiful natural phenomenon, but they're also a powerful reminder that we live in a dynamic, ever-changing universe. Everything is constantly moving, colliding, and evolving. Every single one of those meteors you see tonight has traveled millions of miles through the vacuum of space, only to end its journey in a brief, brilliant flash right above your head. It's been floating out there for billions of years, and tonight, for just a few seconds, it becomes visible to you. Think about that for a moment. It's a connection across unimaginable time and space. And there's something even cooler. By studying meteor showers like the Geminids, scientists learn about the very beginning of our solar system. These chunks of rock and ice are leftovers from when the planets were first forming. They're like cosmic time capsules, holding ancient secrets about where we all came from. Plus, studying the asteroids that create these showers like Python helps us understand and track potential threats to Earth while a major impact is extremely unlikely. This research helps us prepare, just in case. So yes, they're beautiful, but they're also a window into our past and maybe even our future. Let me share something personal with you. I still remember the first time I ever saw a meteor shower. I was just a kid, maybe 10 years old, out camping with my family. My dad woke me up in the middle of the night, handed me a sleeping bag and just said, "Come on, you have to see this." We walked away from the campfire, lay down in the grass, and just stared up at the sky. For the next hour, we barely said a word. We just watched, and every time a meteor streaked across the darkness, I felt this incredible mix of awe and smallness. Like here I was, this tiny kid on a tiny planet, watching ancient rocks from deep space burn up in our atmosphere. It was one of those moments that just sticks with you forever. And I think that's what makes meteor showers so special. They connect us to something huge, something ancient, and something deeply mysterious. They remind us that we're all part of this grand cosmic story. And the best part is, you don't need a PhD or any expensive equipment to experience it. You just need to step outside and look up. So I really hope you get a chance to see the Geminids tonight. It's a truly special experience. Alright, let's talk about tonight. Something pretty special is happening right above our heads, and you won't want to miss it. It's the Geminid meteor shower, and seriously, it's one of the best shows the universe puts on all year. Think of it as nature's own fireworks, display bright, beautiful, and absolutely free. This isn't some faint, once-in-a-lifetime event. The Geminids are known for being incredibly reliable and packed with dazzling, multicolored meteors. We're talking about dozens, maybe even over 100 shooting stars per hour at its peak. So, what makes this shower so spectacular? Well, unlike most meteor showers that come from comets, the Geminids originate from an asteroid called 3200 Phaethon. This rocky body orbits the Sun, and as it gets close, the intense heat fractures its surface, leaving behind a trail of dusty, pebbly debris. Every December, Earth plows right through this stream of cosmic rubble. When these tiny particles, some no bigger than a grain of sand, hit our atmosphere at mind-boggling speeds over 78,000 miles per hour, they burn up in a brilliant flash of light. That's the shooting star you see. Because the debris from Phaethon is denser than typical comet dust, the Geminids tend to be brighter and can even appear in shades of yellow, green, or blue. Now, for the best part, how to watch it. You don't need a fancy telescope or expensive binoculars. The best tool you have is your own two eyes. The key is to find a spot away from city lights. The darker your location, the more meteors you'll see. So, maybe take a short drive out of town, find a park, or even just your own backyard if it's dark enough. Give your eyes about 20 to 30 minutes to fully adjust to the darkness. Put your phone away, the bright screen will ruin your night vision. Lie back on a blanket or a lawn chair, look up, and be patient. The meteors will appear to radiate from the constellation Gemini, but they can streak across any part of the sky, so just take in as wide a view as possible. So here's the deal. Tonight, the sky is going to light up, and all you have to do is step outside. Find that dark spot, give your eyes time to adjust, and just watch the universe do its thing. Because let's be honest, life gets busy. We get caught up in our screens, our routines, our stress, but every once in a while, the universe gives us a reason to pause, to look up, to remember that we're part of something so much bigger than ourselves. And tonight is one of those nights. So grab a blanket, bring a friend, maybe make some hot chocolate, and go outside. Because this isn't just about watching meteors, it's about reconnecting with a sense of wonder. It's about remembering what it feels like to be truly amazed. And I think we could all use a little more of that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more space content, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen a meteor shower? What was your experience like? Until next time, keep looking up.